Hello and welcome back to TOL. Hello and welcome back to Tales of Lumin. Hello and welcome back to Tales. Hello and welcome back to TOLD. Hello and welcome back to Tales of Lumin Daily. These are all the suggestions that I've gotten thus far. I'm sure by the time I actually upload or make the second Tales of Lumin episode live, there'll be more suggestions there, because I did in the Shadowplay episode, which I haven't seen the response to, or the responses, because I'm sure there'll be many to yet. I'm sure when I make that live, I'm going to get a lot of input on how to do the intro, but those are already some of the suggestions that you guys have given based on what was said in the very first episode. But here I am, recording the third one, and I couldn't be happier to do so. I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. I'm getting so many topic ideas from you guys already that there is not going to be a day that goes by that I won't have something to talk about. Something interesting, something fun, and then added to that all the happenings in my own life and on the internet and stuff. Gaming related, real life related, personal stuff, whatever. I will never run dry. It's not going to happen. Speaking of things, occurrences, events in my real life, today was a pretty stressful day. And kind of exciting too, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. First, however, I want to show this off. These two together were a package from Alexa. Now Alexa has sent a whole bunch of paper birds already, but you know, that didn't stop her from sending even more. She is currently the top contributor of paper birds, which is absolutely amazing, and she always sends these super cool ones, these perfectly folded ones, I must add, in really amazingly nice looking colors. So she sent another 27 paper birds. You can see them here. She didn't send them in this box. She sent them in a big envelope. He didn't put them in this box. This is actually a strawberry container. We buy our strawberries in these. There you go. She sent a little note that says some really nice stuff. She also just so happens to be one of the people that won a Hearthstone beta key through one of the video giveaways. I didn't even know. I had no clue. But she says it right there. Then along with this, she sent me some Twinings Comforting Licorice Tea. I suppose you could call it a herbal infusion instead of tea, but I like calling it tea. That works for me. And I've got some right the heck here. It is such a strange taste. Ooh, it's so nice in the best possible way. So this tea, it's funny in that when you take this sip and it's at the perfect temperature, then it's instantly refreshing and you kind of taste very little flavor. You just taste that freshness. If you get what I'm saying, then a second or two later, it hits you. The sweetness of the licorice root, because that is the sole ingredient in this, hits you. And it's so, so good. So good. I'm on like a semi-strict diet at the moment. It's not really a diet. We're just trying to eat healthy for this month so we can reward ourselves at the end of the month on the 1st of December with a really amazing breakfast at this one farm stall that we ate at a couple of weeks back. We ate there and we thought to ourselves, wow, that was the best breakfast we've ever had, and we want to go back there, but you know, we have to work for it first. So if we go this month eating clean, then we're going to reward ourselves with that breakfast. We're going to drive there especially for the breakfast. It's about 50 kilometers away, maybe a bit less. Probably a bit less. But it's going to be worth it. I tell you that right now. For those wondering, it's the Hohook farm stall. I wouldn't say it's famous or anything like that, but it's well visited. Definitely well visited, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but this tea, so good. I recommend it. I don't know how I'd rate it if I had to compare it to the Woolworths licorice tea. They have different tastes. The Woolworths one is much more overpowering. It has a lot more flavor, but this one just has straight up sweetness, and it's much more refreshing. I wouldn't really call it comforting. I personally wouldn't use that word to describe it. But hey, what the heck ever. Thank you so much, Alexa. We've never had this tea before. I've actually never seen it here before. So it's much appreciated. Anyway, I was going to tell you guys about something that happened to us today. And it was kind of stressful and exciting, as I mentioned. And what it was that I lost my phone. So this morning, I'm going to start at the beginning. We went to the gym and all that. Then we came back. It was after breakfast and everything. We came back here. We took Nero for a walk. I took my phone in my jacket pocket. Then while we were walking with Nero, you know, sometimes we run. Sometimes myself and Nero, we decide, now we want to run a little bit. Then what happened was, my phone, at some point during the walk, and I don't even know where, fell out of my pocket. Must have landed in the grass, on the road, somewhere. Now, my phone, I can't show you at the moment because Elena has it. Her phone's battery is flat. She's using my phone to look at the TV schedule so she can see which movies are on tonight. But my phone is in this little pouch thing, so even if I drop it from this high down to the ground, it's not going to get damaged or anything. It's fine like that. Wasn't damaged. And I've got it back now. Helene's got it in her hand at this very moment. So let me tell you how I got it back. I dropped it somewhere along the route that we walked, and I didn't realize. When I was about 3/4 of the way through the walk, then I felt that my jacket pocket was much lighter than it should be, because you usually realize when your phone's not there. Now, if it was in my pants pocket, I would have immediately noticed the second it fell out. But because it's a big puffy jacket, I didn't realize, and then it took me that long to notice it was gone. Then we got back here, and first, you know, we panicked a little bit, but I thought to myself, well, maybe I'm just going crazy and I didn't take it with for the walk. So I searched through the house, I looked everywhere, I looked in the car, looked in the kitchen, in the bedroom, in the bathroom, because sometimes I leave it in there for some reason, in the passage, here in the office, under everything, in the drawers, didn't find it. Then I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I must have dropped it on the walk. So then I sprinted all the way along the route that we had just walked, which was a pretty long route, and I didn't see it. Then my heart sank, because that's an iPhone, cost a whole lot of money, and my life is on that phone. Everything. Added to that, I don't have a password or anything on it, because it's a bit of a hindrance. I've put one on now. Put one on now just because, just in case. But that happened. Ran all the way around the route. I got back home. I didn't see it anywhere. Then it clicked. Light bulb. Thought to myself, didn't I install the Find My iPhone app a little while ago? And I was like, yes. Yes, I did. So let's try it out. Then I took Eileen's phone, typed my username and password in for iTunes into her phone on her Find My iPhone app. Then it said, okay, welcome Lumin. We are now tracking your phone. And then it did just that. Popped up with the world map. It zoomed in one flash closer to South Africa. It zoomed in more to the Western Cape. Then it zoomed in on our little town. And I started seeing the little street map come up. And then you know what I saw? I saw my phone walking down the road. Walking down the road right next to our house. Now, this is one of the longest roads in town. Okay, this street is... Let me think how many blocks it would be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 15 blocks, maybe? 20 blocks? A longish street. It's not as long as the main road, but I saw my phone moving down out of the zone that we were walking in. Out of the zone we were walking in. So someone had my phone, or it was just on the move by itself. Phones get crazy sometimes. Then I first thought, well, you know, do I run after it now? But then I saw how far it was, because I know these streets in our neighborhood like the back of my hand. Okay? I've walked down every single nook and cranny of this town with Nero multiple times. So I knew exactly where it was. I knew the quickest route to get there. So I did it. I jumped in our car and I sped down the road, only to find about a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, because it wasn't that far, and I guess I drove pretty fast, only to find A dude standing there with my phone like this, holding it out to me as I stopped. As I was stopping there, he was offering me my phone. Just like that, still in its pouch and everything. Now, while I was running with the intent of finding it, while I was sprinting along the route of the walk, I had Eileen's phone in my hand, and I was busy dialing it over and over to hear where it was. Okay, so that didn't work either. Obviously didn't hear it, and that was before I realized, before that click, that I could use Find My iPhone. And then apparently this guy who had my phone, he didn't know how to answer it. He just didn't. But in the time that he had my phone, he had called my mom and said, listen, I've got Sven's phone. Here it is. And then my mom said, okay, we're going to get someone to come pick it up, because she couldn't contact me as I was busy phoning from Helene's phone to my phone over and over, so it was obviously engaged. So she phoned one of our friends that lives down the road, a family friend, and he was going to pick it up from this guy, and that guy that was there obviously thought that I was him, just offering it to me. Or alternatively, because I saw this guy and he walks down here all the time, he knew it was my phone because he saw us. He was actually walking 2 blocks down from us, 2 blocks down while we were walking nearer, so he might have even seen the phone drop out of my pocket. Now, I don't know how honest he was about all of it, but the fact that he phoned my mom and that he said, listen, I've got the phone, that leads me to believe he was a pretty good guy. He was decent about it. He really was. But he was, however, 3 blocks further down the road away from where we were walking. Now, in his defense, he probably didn't know where we live. So he was just walking around down one of the biggest streets in the neighborhood, hoping that he'd find us again. I don't know. I just don't know. But that was crazy. It was so stressful. He gave me the phone back and he said, I think this belongs to you. It was ringing. I couldn't figure it out. Now, obviously, answering the phone, it's an iPhone, it's a touchscreen phone. He might not have known how to work it, but somehow he figured out how to phone my mom, which is great. Absolutely great. And then he gave it to me and he said, listen, dude, I didn't know what to do. I walked around and I didn't see you. I didn't see you and your dog walking here anymore. And I had this phone. I didn't know what to do. He was actually stressing just as much as me. It was as if he was being caught red-handed with the phone, but he wasn't. He wasn't. But the whole story had a happy ending. He gave me back my phone. I shook his hand and I said, thank you. Thank you so much for your honesty. Thank you for all of it. I didn't at that time know that he had phoned my mom, but like 2 seconds later when I got home, my mom phoned the phone and she asked, listen, do you have your phone back? And I said, yes. I answered my phone, so I do, in fact, have my phone back. So inadvertently, everyone was involved. My mom was involved. Our friend down the road was involved. Helene was involved, stressing at home here. She was thinking to herself, listen, because that phone is moving down the road, someone may have taken it and they perhaps didn't want to give it back. They were walking away. She said, don't get stabbed. Don't get shot. Don't get beat up or anything. So I guess I got lucky. I guess I got lucky with that. Because as I said, that phone contains everything about me. It's essential. It's important to me. I use it for so many different things, including remote desktop to get to my PC when I need to when I'm away from home, including all those calls, messages, email, browsing, Twitter, photos, videos, a lot of it. It's an important tool. And I nearly lost it today. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Just makes you think about how precarious things can be when you're carrying around such an expensive piece of tech. And for us here in South Africa, let me just explain to you how expensive the iPhones are here. So an iPhone 5 at this very moment costs, if I'm not mistaken, between 8,000 or 9,000 rand. That one, when I bought it, was about 7,000 rand. It's an iPhone 4. And if you compare that, convert that into dollars, that's $700 for an iPhone. Now, you guys in the US must be laughing at me at the moment because I think you guys pay $200 for an iPhone. Welcome to the third world. But today, I witnessed humanity at its finest. Truly. He was standing there ready to give my phone back to me. He had no dishonesty in him. Straight up. Good guy. Would shake his hand again, for sure. Man. I should send like a letter of recommendation for him to the municipality. Tell them, listen, if you need a new mayor for this little town, that's your guy. That's your guy. Something like that at least. Man, it was crazy, okay? I didn't want to lose my phone. Apparently, Eileen was here at home throughout all of this, stressing even more than I was, because the thoughts that were going through her head were things like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. Then it was like, oh my goodness, he's going to have to take my phone now. Then it was like, oh my goodness, is he safe out there? All these things she was thinking about. She said that her little train of thought was a long one. It wasn't quite as little. It's crazy. Anyway, that was our excitement for the day. I'm sorry for making this story so long, but it was interesting and I thought I'd tell it to you guys. And, well, that's the kind of excitement we have here every now and then. At least this excitement had a happy ending, unlike the excitement with our gas being stolen before. That wasn't happy in any way. That's what happened. Tell me about your day. Tell me if anything exciting like that happened. Tell me if anything even remotely as mentally and physically challenging happened. Because that was mentally fatiguing, if that's even a word. I was so drained after all of that, you wouldn't believe. But you can check back here tomorrow for another video. Hope you guys are doing great. Having amazing days yourselves. Hope your weekends are going well. And I hope your Halloween went well. Because I think in this Halloween's case, it was a whole weekend-long event. As far as Twitter and Reddit is concerned, everyone seems to be posting stuff every single day about how their Halloween parties went. It's kind of cool. Having Halloween on a Thursday gives you an excuse to celebrate on the Thursday, the Friday, and the Saturday. No problem. You can celebrate on the Sunday because of how amazing the weekend before that was, but I'm done. Check back here soon for more. Give this video a like, share it, and do all that other good stuff. Most importantly, though, happy not losing your phone. Happy getting it back in pristine condition, untouched, undamaged, unharmed. Happy that.